The Last Rodeo, Angel Studios' newest family blockbuster starring Neil McDonough, hits theaters May 23rd. Become a premium member and get 2 free tickets to see The Last Rodeo on the big screen. Plus, stream other Angel exclusives like Homestead, The Shift, and more. Help choose which movies get made and support films and filmmakers that share your values. Join the Angel Guild now at angel.com/Charlie. Don't miss The Last Rodeo, only in theaters.
Hi, so my name's Robert Matas, and I kind of want to not make this like a screaming match. I first off do want to say that although I don't believe in a lot of the stuff that you say, I do want to give you your flowers for giving us, people who do disagree, the chance to come and talk about it.
Thank you for saying that.
And two, like, even for me, like someone who wants to get into politics, I have a chance now to challenge my beliefs and my stuff with someone who's like talked to Newsom and everything. So my main thing I want to talk about is the fact that, so you have said that you're a constitutionalist, right? Like, you feel like you are a strong believer in the Constitution?
Correct.
Yeah. So my question is, or I guess my belief is that now, with the modern day presidency, you cannot be a constitutionalist and still support Trump.
Okay, why? And then I have a follow-up question.
So my first thing is, one, Trump openly defying the Supreme Court, and supporting that is him saying on an interview just the other day, he does not know if it's his job to uphold the Constitution, which in fact is one of the main jobs of the presidency. Which I feel like, am I wrong? Can you combat that?
I don't believe that's what he said, but let's talk.
You can look at the interview. That's literally what he said. He has lawyers to decide whether he has to uphold the Constitution.
No, of course.
When the DOJ is not his attorneys.
Well, no, the DOJ actually 100% is.
They are the U.S. government attorneys.
No, but
they do not protect Donald J. Trump.
Stop interrupting me. First of all, what branch is the Department of Justice in?
I'm not. Okay, sorry, I don't have that shit written down here. I'm just.
Dude, come on. I mean.
But can you?
It's in the executive branch. So the
can
DOJ.
You respond to my claim though?
Yes, without you interrupt. I let you talk uninterrupted.
You're true.
The DOJ works for President Trump completely and totally. They are in the executive branch. The Attorney General is wholly adherent to the President of the United States. Secondly, tell me about Article 2.
Well, they are also there to keep Trump in check.
No, they're not. No, that's where you're wrong, dude. That's the third branch. That's what. No, see, this is where you're totally miseducated. The DOJ works for President Trump. Literally, the Attorney General of the United States works for the President of the United States. The Supreme Court, or the third branch, is a separate branch. The DOJ is not a separate branch. It's not.
I'm not saying the DOJ is a separate branch, but I'm saying the DOJ should. I'm saying that they are not meant to serve Trump.
Yes, they are.
If Trump does something
wrong. No, that's wrong. That's not correct. You see, you have a wrong, and you have to tell me. What article does the Attorney General fall under? 1, 2, or 3?
I don't know.
Article 2, which is the President of the United States. All power vested in Article 2 is vested in the President. That's right there in Article 2. Now, as far as define the Supreme Court, he hasn't defied it, but even if he did, Joe Biden...
he's trying to challenge it, though.
Challenging's not defying, dude. That's appealing to the Supreme Court. Joe Biden literally defied a final decision on the Supreme Court when it came to student loans.
But it didn't go through. It stopped.
No. Joe Biden kept on actually defying it.
Yeah, because he kept trying to rework it to where it would be legal.
Again, but the point, he stopped. He materially defied it. That's beside the point.
He kept trying
Trump
until
is
the
not,
Supreme Court
Trump is
found
not
him,
currently defying the Supreme Court.
The Supreme Court said he needs to facilitate the return for Abrego Garcia. And I don't advocate for the man. I just advocate
the Supreme
for his
Court has not said they have to do that. They haven't. You're wrong. What the Supreme Court said is that the Trump administration made an error and they have to write a request to El Salvador, which they did.
But you're ignoring the part where they said he has to facilitate the return.
And he has. El Salvador has denied it.
He said he
doesn't control.
Want to ask
he doesn't control El Salvador.
Okay. I want to appreciate too. Thank you for helping me with the stuff that I am wrong about. So that I appreciate as well.
Last point. Then we have a long line.
Okay. I also want to say too. I've heard you make points about how the Fifth Amendment only applies to U.S. citizens.
In certain cases, yes.
Do you believe that the 14th Amendment as well only applies to U.S. citizens?
Again, in a limited scope, yes. Because, again, the Supreme Court agrees. Again, there's expedited removal.
But what about...
The Supreme Court has said there's no due process rights for any... you're interrupting me, man.
Okay.
The Supreme Court has said that there is no due process rights for illegal aliens that have come within 100 miles of the southern border or 2 weeks of entry. That's a 2019 decision based on expedited removal. So actually, and according to many other Supreme Court decisions, an illegal alien within 2 years here in the United States gets no due process rights.
Okay, but what about, so also this is something I want to point out too. You call a lot of the immigrants that are in the country, ones that cross over the border, illegal immigrants.
They're all criminals, yes.
when most of them, especially, and I want to ask you what you think about the ones who were arrested or were detained while trying to go through the legal processes. The ones who came in actually, and it is a loophole. I'll admit that Joe Biden allowed for a loophole to get into the system, right, through
Open borders?
No, through asylum. So asylum was a loophole, but it still was a legal way to enter the country. And what about the illegal immigrants who were detained while going to their meetings to make sure they stayed within the legal processes?
They're still in violation of 8 U.S.C. 1312.
If they came in using...
What is 8 U.S.C. 1312? You don't know. That's fine. It's fraudulently filling out an asylum claim, of which these people are.
But that's what the courts are
Again,
for.
there's 8 U.S.C. 1305, which is illegally crossing the southern border, which can be enforced also upon the second entrance of going on.
Isn't
and then there's 8 U.S.C. 13.
Into the border.
Again, man, I know. I don't mean to like make you look bad.
Okay.
You just don't know enough about this stuff. Like, I encourage you to look at 8 U.S.C. 1305, 8 U.S.C. 1312, how the criminal code actually comes in particular here. The Supreme Court has given President Trump full authority to deport these illegals without same due process as people here in America.
But what about the Supreme Court decisions, like, which one is it?
Yes, so I know what you're talking about.
Which one? Which Supreme Court?
I don't know the name, but it basically says that's for illegal aliens.
1903?
Yes,
Okay.
those are for illegal aliens that commit crimes while they are here. So that's if it like an illegal.
This Supreme Court decision recognized due process rights for non-citizens in
again,
deportation hearings.
Yes, correct.
In deportation
not
hearings.
Again, the Supreme Court has clarified that in 2019 that not every single illegal here within the last 2 years gets a deportation hearing. They've clarified it, and people are conveniently ignoring it in the media.
And
Thank you
so
for your time.
Can you tell me then where I can find that they clarified it?
Type into ChatGPT.
Not ChatGPT, from the Supreme Court.
Well, again, it will lead you to the source. Say, find me the Supreme Court case, because I don't know the name of it. 2019, 2018 decision around expedited removal within 100 miles of the border and 2 years of being in the country. The Supreme Court clarified they do not need the same due process rights.
But, so you're also saying, though, that these other Supreme Court cases that reaffirmed that due process rights does apply to non-citizens, naturalized or...
Again, what the Supreme Court said is they had a distinction. They said that if an illegal alien is here and, for example, commits a DUI, they get due process on that infraction. They don't get due process necessarily on just the fact they came into the southern border illegally. So there's about crimes you commit on the interior of the country different than ones that you commit while you come into the country.
But what about the people who have not committed crimes?
It doesn't matter. Coming in the country, coming into the country is a crime. It doesn't matter.
For longer than 2 years.
The Supreme Court will hopefully.
It's a civil offense.
It's not. Again, it's an 18 U.S.C.
I'm pretty sure it's 13. It's
8 U.S.C. 1312, it makes it a felony to harbor yourself illegally in the United States of America and not notify the government of your presence. You can look it up anytime you want. 8 U.S.C. 1312, any illegal alien that does not tell the government where they are, what they're doing, and why they are here is in violation and is currently committing a felony. Thank you for your time.